بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا زدنا علما. اللهم إنا نسألك الإخلاص والقبول وأن تنفعنا اللهم بما نقول. اللهم آمين وبعد. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Tajweed101 course, simple step-by-step Tajweed course that enables you inshallah to learn how to read the Quran properly inshallah. Welcome, my name is Maghfira and I am an online Quran teacher and you are watching Maghfira 101, the place to learn, know, understand how to read the Quran properly inshallah and understand its meaning. And today inshallah we are going to continue our Noon Sakina rules, which is Ikhfaa, the most requested lesson ever. So let's dive into it directly bi'idhnillah. Ikhfaa. We recently started the Noon rules, Noon Sakina rules, and we mentioned that we have 4 different rules. Al-Idhar, and we did it, alhamdulillah. Al-Idgham, insertion, we did it, alhamdulillah. And changing, or Al-Iqlab, is done, alhamdulillah, the last lesson. And today we are going to move to Al-Ikhfaa. And let's now understand what is Al-Ikhfaa. Al-Ikhfaa, we have, as usual, linguistic definition and applied definition. Linguistic definition always give us the clue or give us the idea what we are going to do on the rule that we are going to learn. So al-ikhfa means concealing or hiding something from being visible. Yeah? The same as hiding the window with a curtain. Yeah? So we are having 2 things now. We can see both of them, but one is more clear than the other one. The other one is not completely hidden. So you can see the back window and you can see the curtain as well. So the applied definition for al-ikhfa or hiding, it is a way of reciting the Noon Sakina letter in a way between al-idgham, which is insertion, which is completely merging letter Noon with the next letter, or al-idhar, which is completely read the sound of letter Noon in a way in between these 2 things without shadda. So we need to make sure that there is no shadda when we do al-ikhfa. And we should do it with nasal sound, with ghunna, for 2 counts. Okay, so this is, for example, the first letter, or this letter Noon. This is the next letter. We have see something from letter Noon, a little bit visible, and this is the second letter. Okay, as I just said, it is the same as curtain and window. We can see part of the window and part of that curtain. So we are going to read letter Noons in between the clarity and in between the idgham, something in between. Yeah? So let's now go into a bit deeper details about ikhfa. Clarity or al-idhar, we are putting the tip of the tongue on the gums and making the nasal sound. This is al-idhar. So we said that al-ikhfa is not clarity. So we don't need to make sound completely as a clear noon. Don't say min, dun, min. This is a clear noon. Okay, so it is not idhar, it's not clarity, so we don't need to put the tip of the tongue on the gums and make the nasal sound. And it is not iqlab, means that we won't read it as another letter, exactly the same way that happens on iqlab with letter ba, mim ba, mim ba. We read the noon as a mim when it comes followed by ba. Okay, we change the noon to be mim and make it hidden, like putting the tongue into another articulation point with hiding for this letter, which is mim. And we're not going to do it as in idgham or as insertion. So we're not going to merge the sound of a noon with the sound of the second letter. Like we are not going to cancel the sound and the nasal sound and the articulation point for noon completely, the same as happening on idgham. Yeah? So what we are going to do, we are going to do something between clarity and idgham. Here, clarity means the tongue part is present and the nasal part is present. Min, min, min. This is the clarity. And idgham, there is no tongue part and there is no nasal part for the same letter. I'm talking about the noon itself, the noon idgham itself. Like for example, min ladunka, for example. Here the noon sound completely disappeared. Or when we have mim man, for example, here we have a mim ghunna here, but this ghunna is for this mim, not for that one. Yeah, mim man, it will be mim man. It's not because of the noon. So here we're talking about the noon itself, which is the first noon. We are going to read the noon sound between clarity, which is the presence of the tongue part and the nasal part, and insertion, which is the absence of the tongue part and the absence of nasal part. And we will do ikhfa, so we will have absence of tongue part and presence of nasal part. We are going to have the tip of the tongue away from the gums for ikhfa, but we are going to use the nasal part when we make the sound of al-ikhfa, because this part I find sisters like struggle a lot with making sound of ikhfa. Some sisters using the back of the throat, some sisters using the tongue, some sisters using even the clear noon sound. No, we should do this. We should get rid of tongue part and use the nasal part. Yeah, it's very important. Something between clarity and insertion. Insertion, the absence of tongue part and nasal part, and clarity is presence of tongue part and nasal part. We are going to have hiding, something in between these. So absence of tongue part, there's no tongue part on noon ikhfa, and there is nasal part on noon ikhfa. We have the letters of ikhfa as you see here. Letters that other than al-idhar, al-clarity, and al-idgham, insertion, and al-iqlab, changing. Any letter other than these, it will be letters of ikhfa. Okay? Al-idgham, they are yarmalun. Al-idhar, the hamza and ha, ayn and ha, ghayn and kha. Al-iqlab, it's ba. Any letter other than these will be ikhfa, hiding. Let's now apply for one example how we are going to make أنفقتم الإخفاء with the word أنفقتم. Then we are going to do some few tips, and inshallah on the next lessons I'm going to do each example particularly in all of the cases that we have for this letter inshallah بإذن الله. So how to read الإخفاء? What we need to go now is we need to read the letter Hamza and the letter Fa. Here, this is the curtain that we have. Okay, this is the curtain. And this is the letter, which is the window. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read or get ready from the Hamza to the Fa, as I'm going to say f, f. Okay? Make sure the throat is completely open. F. Throat is completely open. Okay? And then I am going to pause at this position and make the sound from nasal part. Like this. Never put the tip of the tongue on the gums and say anf. No, it's not ikhfa by this. By this you do idhar. Okay? Again, I'm going to get ready from the a sound to the fa sound. F. Then hold at that position. Okay? And make the sound coming from your throat and your nose. Anf. أنفقتم, like this. Okay? So get ready to read the letter before letter noon, which is Hamza in that case, and the letter after letter noon, which is the Fa. F. The throat is completely open. I'm not gonna close it at all because some sisters do it anf. Why? Why you close the throat? They do this like this. Anf. They break the back of the tongue and close the throat completely. Don't do this. Next thing, let the throat open and allow the sound to run from both mouth and nose for 2 counts. This is the ikhfa. The speech about ikhfa is not done yet, but I prefer to stop here today, and inshallah next lesson will continue. جزاكم الله خيرا for your watching. Catch you the next lesson بإذن الله تعالى. سبحانك اللهم ربنا وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.